So this is going to be the last thumbnail that I do this week at least. I'm going to do a quick tutorial for one more um, thumbnail video and show you how to create just a quick, simple, easy thumbnail once again. And we're going to go with the CyberPunk 2077 imagery, and I just really like the subdued look of these thumbnails, and I think that they stick out quite a bit. So we're going to go something similar to this. This is the original image that I've got, and I was just kind of playing around. This would be with a white background, but I'm actually going to switch this to the dark theme YouTube background. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is jump onto YouTube. I am going to click on my channel deal here, and I am going to go to Appearance, and I'm going to go Dark Theme. So this is the dark theme for YouTube. I'm going to hit Print Screen, go back over to Gimp, and I'll make a new layer here, 1280 by 720. Actually, I'm going to make that 1920 by 1080. I'm going to paste what I print screened just long enough to grab my color picker tool and grab this charcoal gray. Then I'll exit out of that. Grab my paint bucket fill tool, fill that layer with the charcoal gray. And then I'm going to go to my text. My text color I'm going to make white, so it contrasts this nicely. And since I kind of already tested this, I think that it was 775 font size that I'm going to use. And the font I'm going to use is actually this, it's a Call of Duty font. The CyberPunk font that I downloaded for the text, I didn't like the way it looked. So this is the font I'm going to use. You can choose whatever font you want. I'm going to use 775 font size, and we'll go with bold, and we'll see how that looks. So I'm just going to do 2077, and I think that looks pretty good. Grab my move tool, kind of adjust it a little bit, and I could space out the lettering if I wanted. You may want to, if you go to your tool options, once you've got your text selected, you can go down and adjust your spacing from left to right, kind of squish the text closer or spread it out a bit. I'm going to keep this pretty much about where it was. And then I am going to right click on my layer on the right, flatten image. I'm going to right click on that layer, and I'm going to go add alpha channel. That makes it transparent in the back. I'm going to click my select by color tool, click within the white, and I'm going to hit delete. So now I've got just transparency on the numbers. The image size I'm going to reduce, so I'm going to click image. I'm going to go to scale image, or actually, before I get too far, I'm going to go crop tool, and I'm going to crop just around my text here, and I'm going to leave a little bit of the gray, hit enter to where I crop that out. Then I'm going to go image, scale image. I'm going to unlock the ratio lock. I'm going to go 1280 by 720, which will be the size of your thumbnail. Hit scale. And then I'm going to grab this picture that I've got here. You can use whatever picture you want. If you want to use a different game, you can use a different game and different text, but this is just being created for CyberPunk. So Control A, select all. Control C is copy. Go over here. I'm going to make a new layer, so I'm right clicking on this side here, new layer, hit OK. I'm going to drag that layer below that original layer I did, and I'm going to paste my picture. And I can drag this kind of how I want it. I think I'm going to include more of the picture in this. So what I'm going to do is actually go to the original, and I'm going to go image, scale image, and I'm going to go percent instead of pixels. and I'm going to change it to 70% and hit scale. Then Control A, Control C to copy, go back over here. I'm going to undo what I had started, and I will paste this on here. So I've got more of the imagery. Get the girl, get the car, and then I will hit the green anchor on that. And one of the things I'm going to do on this is I'm actually going to put an outline around the text. So I'm going to go back to my text layer. I'm going to click the select by color tool, and I'm going to go in the text. And I am going to leave my color to white. Click my paintbrush tool. Make sure it's set to pixel, and the size is, for me, I'm going to go small, so 4 pixels is fine. Hardness, I want it to be 100. I want it to be a nice sharp line. Then I go edit, stroke selection. These can all be left the same. And stroke with a paint tool is going to be set to paintbrush, and hit stroke. Then I'm going to hit select, none, click back on my primary layer, and then it's got kind of a white border, and I think that that looks good. Now I could just leave this like this. That, in all honesty, is a pretty clean logo, or a pretty clean thumbnail that's going to look really good on the dark background on YouTube, essentially when people are scrolling through, rather than just seeing a squared out thumbnail like 99% of all the thumbnails you see. They'll literally just see the 2077 text with the picture in the background, assuming they're using the dark theme. You could also make this with the light colored theme so that it blends in with the light. Obviously everybody's got different stuff, so you can't please them all, but I think that this looks pretty good. And I actually think that what I'm going to do is, I try not to do this too much, but I honestly just really like the way it looks. So I'm going to flatten that. I'm going to make a new layer. If you didn't see, I right clicked on any of the layers over here and go flatten. Now I've got a new layer here. I'm going to go rectangle select tool, and I'm going to drag kind of across the middle, and I'm going to fill, I'm going to see how it looks with white. So I'm going to do my bucket, do white. I'm going to drop the opacity down. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to try purple. Let's just see what it looks like instead. That did not work. I'll grab that, and I think I'm going to up the opacity just a bit. We're going to go with it. We're going to check it out. We're going to see how it looks. So I'm going to go like that, and then what I want to do is I'm going to switch this to a bright pink, and I'm going to go back to my text, and I'm going to select around my banner. And the font that I want to do, I actually have downloaded a CyberPunk font. So I'm going to try that font. I'm going to do like 225 font size. I'm going to go bold, and I'm just going to do CyberPunk. Grab my move tool, adjust it within. I think I'm going to try it without the bold. So I'm going to click back to my text tool, highlight it all, and undo the bold. I think I like the look of that better. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually space it out a little bit, so it takes basically up the whole banner size. And I'm not going to go bold, but I'm going to go just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go like 235 maybe. And that actually made it go down to the next line down. So I'm going to reduce the spacing a hair until it's all there. And I'll go back to my move tool, make sure it honestly looks pretty good there. And the one other thing I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the 2077. I'm going to click my select my color tool. I'm going to click anywhere in the pink. And I have already got my paintbrush paintbrush set to the right size, but I'm going to switch it back to white. Edit, stroke selection, stroke. Now I've got a white outline there. I'm going to click back on the primary layer. I'm going to go select none. And now I've got basically CyberPunk 2077. There's multiple layers to this image, so it looks good, but the overall image is going to be subdued on the background within the dark themed YouTube page. So I think I'm going to call that good. Go ahead and right click, flatten, and then you can go File, Export. If you haven't already exported, it'll just say Export to. Name it and do .jpg for the format. That's the preferred format for YouTube thumbnails, and you're good to go.